Sometimes life doesn't fall apart dramatically. There is no huge failure, no shocking moment, no loud disaster. Sometimes you just wake up one day and quietly realize you're not becoming the person you once wanted to be. And honestly, that realization can shake you more than failure itself. The story is about a man named Karan. Now, from the outside, Karan's life looked completely normal. He had a decent job, a regular routine, friends, weekend plans, nothing obviously wrong. But deep inside, he constantly felt restless. You know that feeling? When days keep passing, but your life somehow feels stuck in the same place. That was Karan. Every morning, his alarm rang at 7, and every morning he pressed snooze at least 3 times. Then came the usual rush, scrolling through his phone while brushing, checking notifications, watching random videos, promising himself, from tomorrow I'll become serious. But tomorrow never really changed anything. He always had plans, big plans. Learn new skills, start exercising, improve communication, read books, save money. But somehow his energy disappeared before action began. After work, he felt mentally drained. So instead of doing something meaningful, he told himself, I deserve a break. And honestly, there is nothing wrong with rest. But slowly, his entire life became one long break from responsibility. One episode became three. 10 minutes of scrolling became 2 hours. Weekends disappeared without him remembering what he actually did. And the worst part? He knew it. That's what made it painful. Sometimes ignorance feels easier, but Karan was fully aware that he was wasting time. He just didn't know how to stop. Then one evening, something happened. After months, he met one of his old college friends, Ritesh. Now, back in college, both of them were very similar. Same dreams, same struggles, always talking about doing something big someday. But now, their lives looked very different. Ritesh spoke confidently, not arrogantly, just clearly. He had started his own small business recently. Things were not perfect for him either, but there was something different about him: energy, direction, purpose. And honestly, while listening to him, Karan felt something uncomfortable growing inside him: comparison. Not jealousy exactly, more like disappointment in himself. Because suddenly he realized it wasn't that successful people had more time, they simply used their time differently. That night, Karan returned home unusually quiet. No TV, no random videos, nothing. He simply sat on his bed, staring at the ceiling. And for the first time in a long time, he asked himself an honest question: what exactly am I doing with my life? Not dramatically, not emotionally, just honestly. And sometimes, honest questions are dangerous because once you see the truth clearly, it becomes difficult to ignore it again. He looked around his room: unfinished books, unused gym equipment, sticky notes with goals written months ago. Everything around him looked like proof of unfinished intentions. And suddenly, he understood something important. Motivation was not his real problem. His real problem was inconsistency. He kept waiting to feel ready, waiting for the perfect mood, perfect energy, perfect Monday. But life doesn't change like that. Most successful habits are built on boring days, ordinary days, days when you don't feel motivated at all. That realization changed something inside him. Not dramatically overnight, but quietly. The next morning, for the first time in months, he didn't press snooze. Now listen carefully. Nothing magical happened after that. He didn't suddenly become super productive. He didn't transform instantly. In fact, the first few days felt frustrating. His mind still wanted distraction, still wanted comfort, still wanted just 5 more minutes. But this time, he noticed those excuses instead of obeying them automatically. He started small, very small, reading 10 pages daily, walking every morning, reducing screen time slightly, learning one thing after work instead of scrolling endlessly. And honestly, small habits looked insignificant in the beginning. But after a few weeks, something surprising happened. He started respecting himself again because confidence doesn't come only from success. Sometimes confidence comes from simply keeping promises you made to yourself. Slowly, his routine improved, his energy improved, even his thinking changed. And one evening, while returning from work, he realized something strange. For the first time in years, he actually felt hopeful about his future. Not because life had become easy, but because he had finally stopped running away from himself. And maybe that's something many people need to hear today. Your life usually doesn't improve in one dramatic moment, it improves quietly through small daily choices. Waking up when you said you would, reading instead of scrolling, trying again after failing, showing up even on low energy days. Because eventually, small disciplines create big changes. So tell me honestly, dear listeners, have you also felt stuck sometimes? What's one habit you know is wasting your time? And if you could improve just one area of your life starting today, what would it be? If this story motivated you even a little, tell me in the comments. And if you want more relatable, motivational stories, just write more stories. Till next time, remember this: your future is quietly being created by what you repeatedly do every day.